Let's name the zones, the zones, the zones. Let's name the zones of the open sea.
Happy Thursday, dolphins and butterflies. Some of my favorite animals are the animals that live in the ocean, like hammerhead sharks, seals, whales, and octopuses. Octopi, I think when you have multiple octopuses, you call it octopi. The ocean is very deep. It's so deep that every creature that lives in it really only stays in certain layers of it. Scientists call these layers zones. Today, we're going to make our own model of the 5 ocean zones. You're going to need 5 plastic containers that are stackable, a toothpick, blue, green, and red food coloring, a piece of paper, a pencil or a pen, and then tape and scissors so that we can label our containers. First, write out the names of the 5 ocean zones on your piece of paper. Leave space so that you can cut these out when you're done. I'm going to talk more about these in a moment. So our layers are the sunlight zone, that's at the top, then the twilight zone, the midnight zone, the abyss, and the deepest part is called the trenches. Cut these out so that they're ready to tape onto your containers. Now fill each container with water almost to the top. We need to add different amounts of food coloring to each container because some zones of the ocean have more light reaching them since they're closer to the surface. We're going to start with the sunlight layer. Put 1 drop of blue on your paper plate. Then, stick a toothpick just in the tip so you have just a tiny bit on the tip. Then stick that tiny bit into your water and stir. This should make a really, really light blue. This is the sunlight zone where animals like dolphins and sea turtles live. Add 1 drop of blue for the twilight zone. You might find whales in the twilight zone. This is the second layer from the surface. Add 2 drops of blue for the midnight zone. This is where you might find octopi in the midnight zone. This is the 3rd layer from the surface. Add 4 drops of blue for the abyss. This is where you might find anglerfish or deep sea jellyfish. These animals have skills that allow them to survive without any light and without much food, since they live in a pretty dark and lonely place. The last zone is called the trenches. This is where you're going to need all of your colors. Add 5 drops of blue, 2 drops of green, and 1 drop of red. There's not many animals here, just plants like sea cucumber and anemones. Now, stack your containers. Trenches at the bottom, then the abyss, then the midnight zone, then the twilight zone, and lastly, the sunlight zone. The majority of marine animals live in the sunlight and twilight zones, the 2 zones at the top. As you get deeper in the ocean, the zones are less and less crowded because it's darker, colder, and there's way less food. If you make your own zones today, I'd love to see a picture of you with your model. Otherwise, you can listen to the book Down, Down, Down by a guest teacher to learn more about the animals that live in these zones. This also really gets me in the mood for watching Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. Whatever you choose to do, have an oceanrific day. Bye, friends.